All right, so we are back for the final league of the day. Let us spin the wheel and see what we get. Man, just narrowly dodged Lantern there. All right, we're playing Rhinos. All right, this is Rhinos. Cast Shardless or Violent Outburst to make Rhinos kill opponent dead. I'm sorry, did you want a more in-depth primer than that? You also have Fire and Ice, Dead Gone, Subtlety, Mystical Dispute, Brazen Borrower, Force of Negation, Fury, Sideboard, these cards, Questing Beast because the ring exists. If the ring didn't exist, these wouldn't be here. So, fun fact, some of you may not have known this, but so this deck was actually originally designed to help toddlers learn MTG. Yeah, there was a group of dads who played Magic, and they were like, what deck can we put together that our very young children can understand and win with? And this was the result. So without further ado, let us jump into the first league with Rhinos. All right, round one on the draw with Rhinos. Okay, we have Cascade Spell plus some interaction, I suppose. I guess I'm keeping this. Hallowed Fountain, tapped. All right, well, let's just play Misty Rainforest, hold up Mystical Dispute, and pass the turn. Castle Vantress, so it looks like we're playing against blue-white control. Fetch. I actually don't want to grab Ketria Triome at this point in the game, because we have so many lands in hand anyway. I think it's probably better off to just grab Shock lands. All right, there's Fire and Ice, so let's stop on our opponent's upkeep. Shock and Esteem Vents, then pass it over to them. Ice your land. That resolved. All right, so now we can Shardless, and if that stuff gets killed, then we can follow that up with Violent Outburst next turn. There's Brazen Borrower. All right, so Foothills, fetch, grab a forest out of our deck, cast Shardless. They do have Counterspell mana, but I mean, they're going to have Counterspell mana the whole match. Cast the Rhinos, and it resolved. So either they don't have a Counterspell or they have Verdict. They evoke Solitude, so they don't have Verdict. I gotta go. Thanks for the stream today. See you next time. Well, thank you for tuning by. I will see you on the next one. Yes, I did just say tuning by. I was trying to say stopping by or tuning in, and my brain got scrambled. All right, they're just going to play... It's ring mana, but who knows if it's the ring. Archmage's Charm to steal one of our Rhinos. All right. So what am I doing? I'm probably just going Outburst with Mystical Dispute up. Yeah, just Outburst on their turn, hold up Mystical Dispute for the counterspell, and then on my turn, bounce the Rhino. Or just Fury the Rhino, rather. They are attacking with the Rhino. That's fine. We'll go to 16. All right, end of turn, fetch, grab a mountain, cast Violent Outburst, cast the Rhino. Opponent cast Counterspell. We will dispute back. All right, they did not have another Counterspell. So let's take our turn. Let's swing with all of these. Swing, swing, swing. Attacking for 10. And then let's just main phase Fury, kill this Rhino. Shock, Fury, kill the Rhino token. Back to the opponent's turn. I'm thinking they may have Verdict. They didn't have Verdict earlier, so they would have had to have drawn it within the last 2 turns. They also don't have a second Counterspell. All right, we won. Sideboarding, what do I want? If they're blue-white control, they probably have the ring, but even if they don't, these are fine as just like haste creatures that also kill their planeswalkers. Blood Moon is probably not good. They have like what? I didn't see them play any off-color lands, but I assume they're playing Leyline Binding. So let's see. Dead Gone is probably just a worthless card. It's only useful later in the game when they already have Solitudes down. Fury in. Endurance is fine as just like a flash threat. I don't think I'd necessarily want to take anything else out, though. Does Blood Moon actually punish them that much? I guess it punishes them if they're on Leyline Binding, so I'll put 1 Blood Moon in. But they're playing Castle Vantress and Mystic Gate, so I doubt they're on the domain plan. All right, let's submit this. I think they're a good old boomer blue-white. My son plays Moon and Klothys in the side of his list. It's pretty brutal. I like Klothys in theory, but I feel like it's just been I feel like it's been power corrupt out of the format. All right, this hand is okay. We do need our 3rd land, but we've got Suspend the Footfalls, and then we've got multiple Cascade spells to follow it up with. Even if they play Teferi, we can Fury it. So I will keep this. Flooded Strand. Ooh, Force of Negation is a great draw. All right, so Misty, fetch, probably Breeding Pool. All right, Shock and Breeding Pool, suspend Footfalls, and pass it back. Klothys to me feels like a fixed Deathrite Shaman. Like, it's what that card was trying to do, but it's a fixed version of it. All right, so they are on domain because they're playing Rafine's Tower. But they also have Mystic Gate and... okay. Take a counter off the Footfalls. Ooh, another one. All right. Play this tapped. Suspend another one. Pass it back. You don't have a basic forest? No, I do. I want blue in case... I want blue for a number of reasons. if I'm in a situation later in the game where I have like multiple disputes, or if I just need to hard cast force. All right, so they didn't play Teferi. All right, we drew our land, so let's just play Shardless right now. I guess I can outburst on their turn, right? No, so let's not play Shardless. Let's outburst on their turn so that I can have force up. So let's just pass it back to them. I will go fetch my basic forest with this one though. All right, Delta, fetch basic forest, cast outburst. I asked because if you telegraph as if you have Blood Moon, I would rather fetch non-basics at first in that case in order to not telegraph that I have Blood Moon. All right, cast the Rhino, and then they are casting Counterspell. Let's just try to resolve this. They didn't have Teferi in the first 3 turns, so I feel like I would rather just counter this back. Yes, obviously if they resolve Teferi now, then the other 2 Rhinos that are in there. All right, they didn't have a response. So now we are 1 turn away from one of them and then 2 turns away from the other one. 3 Furies. All right, attack with the Rhinos. Swing, swing. All right, it looks like they just don't have an answer to these Rhinos, at least at instant speed. So they're going to 9, getting a tapped Hallowed Fountain. So they don't have so they do not have Leyline Binding either, or else they would have cast it there. So they don't have Binding or another counter spell. Prismatic one of them, sure. Oh, now they have Teferi? All right. So they bounce the other one, then our other one can't unsuspend, and I have to evoke Fury to kill this so that our 3rd Rhinos can unsuspend. All right, these go off. Then I can't cast that. Ooh, I could just Fire and Ice. So let's see. Evoke Fury. I don't really need more mana at this point, but I guess I should grab it in order to cast these bigger spells. So I guess I should ice them in their upkeep. So let's go Fury. Is that even correct? Or is it correct to just wait to draw more lands? If I evoke Fury right now, then I have to pitch one of these anyway. Yeah, so let's just go Fire, here, here. Red, green. So 1 each. This dies. They go to 8. And then we'll pass it back, and if they drew another Teferi, then so be it. All right, looks like they didn't. So unsuspend this one. Cast this. Do you have a counter? Archmage's Charm to counter it. All right. We drew, and then we drew Mystical Dispute. Well, pass it back. So now I'm on the waiting game of just try to get up to enough mana to hardcast these Furies. All right, opponent just passes it back to us without doing anything. All right, play Gemstone Caverns, pass. Opponent end step Deluges, let's counter that. All right, they just pass it back. Reduce Subtlety, so I will pass it back to them. So they have Solitude mana, so they can just hold up Solitudes now. Opponent casts Archmage's Charm, which I cannot counter with Subtlety, so that resolves. I need them to tap out for something. All right, well, let's just cast Subtlety then. Subtlety. And then if they flash Solitude in to kill it, then I just cast... Well, I have to draw land, but hopefully we draw land and play Fury and kill that. All right, Subtlety enters the field. Leyline Binding. So Leyline Binding the Subtlety away. All right, well, shock this in and just cast a Fury. They cast Archmage's Charm to counter it. They fetch to 6, which puts them 1 shot from any Fury left in our hand. Back to them, and they're passing it back to us. All right, let's just do Shardless at this point. I only have 1 Rhino left in my deck, so let's get it out now. Shardless, cast the Crashing Footfalls. End step, opponent cycles a Shark Typhoon, X is 4. Opponent Prismatic Endings, one of our Rhino tokens. They Archmage's Charm the other one. All right, so back to us. Oh, they're attacking with the Shark, okay. So we take 4, go to 10. And let's try to resolve Fury. Cast Fury. The Fury resolves. Let's kill this Rhino so we can attack through it. All right, attack them with Shardless. All right, they had no answer to any of that. So they're at 4. Looks like they're going to Prismatic the Fury for all 5 colors. All right, the Fury is Prismatic. They would be crazy to attack here, right? Yeah, so they do not. All right, end step, let's fetch. Get Steam Vents out of our deck. All right, well, let's cast another Fury. The Fury resolves. We kill their Shark. And let's attack them with Shardless. All right, they're down to 2. They need to draw an answer for both of these guys. They play a land, Teferi, bounce Fury back to our hand. All right, but they just didn't draw an answer to that, so we won the match. On to round number 2. All right, round 2, we're on the play. All right, 3 lands, Cascade, Rhinos, looks good. So let's turn 1, fetch a Breeding Pool. All right, Wooded Foothills. What did our opponent reveal? They revealed Gigantha. All right, fetch a Breeding Pool. Shock this in, suspend the Rhinos. And pass. Opponent plays Urza's Power Plant. All right. We've got some... Oh, Subtlety's a great draw here. So let's play the Mountain and then just pass the turn. All right, we're in racing mode. Urza's Tower. Opponent plays Chromatic Sphere and not cycling it. All right, back to us. This goes down to 2 counters. So let's just Cascade the Shardless Agent and have Subtlety up as hopefully protection. Cast Rhinos. Shardless resolves. Pass, holding open Subtlety. Urza's mine. They have Tron. Karn. Let's just evoke this and I guess I'm going to pitch Shardless because if they go and grab like an Ensnaring Bridge or something, I do need Brazen Borrower to bounce that. And it's the same clock whether I cast that or not. All right, put Karn on top or bottom. They put it on top. Then they're drawing immediately. So they have Karn back in their hand, but they can't cast it. They're casting Sylvan Scrying, presumably to get the last tower, to get another tower rather. Forest. All right, we drew another Rhinos. So let's, I guess, suspend. No, I want to be able to flash in Brazen Borrower as an attacker. This is going to take too long anyway. So let's just attack with everything and pass. Swing out. They take 10, go to 10, and then pass back to them. Okay, so their hand is Forest, Karn, a bunch of unknowns. All right, they just have another tower. Ulamog, problematic. So eats these, eats 2 of the Rhinos. Okay, so what am I doing here? I'm flashing in Brazen Borrower to continue attacking, and then I can Dead Gone this back to their hand, but then they just replay it. All right, cast a Brazen Borrower. So untap. Rhinos, I believe, is at 1 counter left. No, we have it now. All right, cast the Rhinos. Another Dead and Gone. So let's just swing with Brazen Borrower. Yeah, swing here. Then they'll go to 7. And then next turn they can go Karn and have a lot of mana left over. I don't technically need to bounce this to their hand. We can take a hit from it. Immediately plays Karn. Karn resolves. 6 mana for the Ring. Well, the Ring's a problem. All right, Ring minusing Karn. They grabbed Filigree Silex, and they had enough left over to cast Filigree Silex. Yep. So now even if I bounce Ulamog, then they just replay it next turn anyway. Yeah, so they can hit us. That's fine. All right, they exile 20 cards. No blocks. I guess I may as well block since they're just going to Filigree Silex these Rhinos anyway. Right? Yeah, so just block. All right, so back to us. It's still not correct to bounce this. Otawara, which I can't activate. So attack Karn with Brazen Borrower, swing at Karn. So Karn dies, and then I don't have any immediate need to play Otawara. What was exiled? We missed our Forest, Steam Vents, Gemstone Caverns, Island. So we have some more lands left in our deck. This is not going to be relevant, so let's just pass. Okay, that makes no sense. They're drawing with the Ring with the burden counter on the with the upkeep counter on the stack, so they just take more damage unnecessarily. All right, they're at 6 now. Plays Relic of Progenitus, sure. Cracks Relic. They do need to find an answer to our guys, so they need to find another Ring or like Worm Coil or something. I guess so. The Filigree Silex blows up the Rhinos, and then they need to answer both of these guys. Ugin. This is you don't control, right? So Ugin, they just sweep our board, and then we're just dead. Ugin -3. Yep. What's the only way out of this? It's bounce Ulamog back to their hand and draw exactly Violent out. No, I can't even Violent because of Filigree Silex. I don't have anything that has haste, so yeah, we're dead. All right, game number 2. All the Blood Moons are in, obviously. Questing Beast to get through the Ring. Force of Vigor, so that if they just have turn 1 map, we can blow that up, along with other stuff. Fury is probably okay. What's bad here? Mystical Dispute, they don't have blue spells, and then they have 1,000,000 mana. Brazen Borrower is not great either. Dead Gone is also very bad. Cut all of that. Fury's kind of slow. By the time they get their walkers down, yeah, So this is probably fine. All right, submit this. Game 2 on the play against Tron. Land, crashing, shardless, force negation, looks good. We already have our basic forest as well. Opponent mulls to 6. All right, forest, suspend this. Pass the turn. If they play map on turn 1, I'm forcing it. Star. All right, Rhinos. Beseiju is also a great draw. All right, so let's go land, pass. If they play a second Tron land, I'm almost certainly just Beseijuing it now so that I have turn 3 shardless unmolested. Yeah. Urza's Tower. All right, fetch. I guess it doesn't really matter. I'm fetching another one with this anyway. So let's grab Steam Vents, shock this in, channel Beseiju on tower. They get a forest. Back to us. This comes down another counter. Then land, fetch, and shock. So let's get Breeding Pool and cast Shardless Agent. Cast the Rhinos. All right, 10 power on the board. Opponent is 2 turns away from Karn. And we've got Force of Negation backup. Opponent cycles the star for green. If they just play Sylvan Scrying here, I think I just let it go. Okay, Chromatic Sphere. Cycling the Sphere. Play Ancient Stirrings. That's fine. I just need to hold on to these to counter Ring or Karn or something like that. They get mine, they play mine, and then they just pass it back to us. All right, this comes down another counter. It's 1 turn away. So let's combat, swing, swing, swing. Opponent takes 10, goes to 10. And then I'm icing one of their lands on upkeep, so that will only give them 6 mana to work with. Play this tapped, stop on their upkeep. Ice one of the lands, doesn't matter which one. Casts a star, cycles the star. All right, they're dead. Even if they play tower, yeah, all right. Game 3, same exact position. Maybe I'm supposed to throw back Fury for Mystical Dispute. By the time I can actually cast Fury, the game is basically over. All right, that's fine. Submit. Especially on the draw. Ooh, we have Gemstone Caverns to go off faster. All right, so keep this, and then I don't need double Shardless, so I can throw one of the Shardlesses back. Gemstone, and eat one of the Shardless agents. Urza's Power Plant. Map. We have Island and Beseiju in the hand. And Blood Moon. All right, let's go Island, and then stop on upkeep so they can't crack their map this turn. So pass it back. Ice the land. They used to have the mine anyway. All right, we drew a mountain. So if I play Blood Moon, I can't cast Beseiju anyways. Or I can't channel Beseiju anyways. If I Shardless now, I have Force backup, and then I can Blood Moon next turn. If I Blood Moon now, it puts me behind in such a way. So if I play Blood Moon now, I can't play Shardless anymore. So that's the issue. So I should just cast Shardless now, and then, yeah, all right. So Mountain, Shardless. I can also Beseiju them, but that just puts me yet another turn behind. All right, just cast Shardless. Cascade, get the Rhinos, and then pass it back to them, and hopefully Force of Negation is enough. So if they don't have Natron, they have to map for the last piece. Yeah, all right, so they're mapping for the last piece. Urza's Tower. And then it's back to us. Drew Subtlety. So I'm pretty confident I'm just supposed to Blood Moon them here. Swing, swing, and swing. If I Blood Moon them, then they only have 4 mana, and I can counter anything they play. Yeah, Blood Moon. Not playing this on the off chance I draw my basic forest. 3 mana. What do they have? Warping Whale? Warping Whale. Create a Scion. Okay. So Blood Moon, and then... So that protects them for 1 turn, basically, because they can chump on Shardless Agent, or it just gets them to 5 if they need to get to 5 for some reason. Red mana, play Chromatic Star. Crack the Star for green. Play Ancient Stirrings. That's fine. So pro tip with Tron, if you can take them off one of these lands, unless you think the game is going to go really, really long, you take them off one of the lands that isn't Tower first. I guess they can hypothetically activate that. So if they have a Forest in hand, they can activate it. I would need to draw another blue card for Force of Negation, though. So how do I lose this game? I lose this game by... They go Haywire, Forest, eat Blood Moon. They're at 12. Then I attack them. They chump here, or just don't. Go low. And then they untap and play like Ugin or Karn or something, and I have to force it, right? So if they don't have the Forest, then this is fine. If they do have the Forest, and I counter this, and then I don't draw a blue spell, and they draw like Karn or Ring or something and get out of it, then it's really bad. So yeah, Haywire Might's fine. All right, they just don't have the Forest. Well, we drew a land. I'm going to attack them, of course. Attack with all creatures. If they're going to block, they should, I guess, okay, they're just hoping to get green mana for Haywire Might next turn. Sure. All right, yeah, so they're at 2. And now they have to go Forest or one of the Cyclers. Okay, Chromatic Sphere. Then filter into green, eat Blood Moon, that's fine. So then they have maximum 6 mana if they play another tower. Yeah, but they just don't have anything. All right, on to round number 3. Anyway, as I was saying, when you're against Tron, if you have the option of not Blood Moon, but something that picks off just one land, like Spreading Seas or Fulminator Mage or something like that, you choose one of the lands that isn't Tower, because that means that when they have to pay mana to grab the last Tron piece again, they will likely have to tap the Tower in order to cast whatever it is they're using, and that puts them on less mana that turn. Now, the times when you kill the Tower are when you think the game is going to go really long and you're not going to be able to keep them off Tron forever anyway, then you blow up the Tower. All right, round 3 on the play. 2 lands, suspend Rhinos, and we have some other stuff, so we just need to draw a 3rd land for this outburst. We have 24 lands in the deck. This seems fine. Opponent mulls to 6. I'm going to fetch Stomping Ground in case I need to cast Dead Gone next turn. All right, fetch Shock and Stomping Ground, suspend Rhinos. Opponent plays Blooming Marsh. All right, so opponent is on Yawg, so I definitely want to shoot that this turn. So let's go land, kill that, and then pass with this land. 2nd land, fetch. Forest, play Wall of Roots. Tick it down, play Young Wolf. All right, fetch, grabbing Ketria Triome. That goes to 2 counters, I believe. Yeah. Well, we do know Subtlety and not another land, so that's unfortunate. I could Fury the Wall of Roots right now. Then we lose our Cascade spell, though. So I will pass and just have Subtlety up if necessary. All right, they do have another land, and they're playing Yawgmoth, so we'll definitely counter that. So Subtlety, pitch Subtlety. If I draw a 3rd land, it's better to have Mystical Dispute than it is another Subtlety. So obviously they'll put that back on top of their deck. And then we take 1 from the Wolf. Rhino's on 1 counter. Still didn't draw a land. So I'm pretty sure... So we drew another Cascader, though, so I'm pretty sure I'm just supposed to kill both of these now. So choose both of these. So Wall of Roots dies. The Wolf comes back, but has a counter on it. And they would have to have a 4th land for Yawgmoth. Right, they just have Grist. That's also a problem. All right, so Grist plus. So they have a Yawg in hand and one unknown card. We're at 13. Really need to draw a land here. So this comes off suspend. Cast the Rhino. We did not draw a land. Yikes. All right, pass it back. So if they don't draw a land, they can go minus, eat one of their insects, kill one of our Rhinos, but then they're still not in a great position. If they do draw a land and play Yawgmoth, then they can go sack the insect, target young wolf, then Grist, sack the wolf, kill a Rhino, and then they have Yawg plus Undyed Wolf in play. They have Cord. Bowmasters, okay. So they're going to go Bowmasters, then Cord, shooting us. So Bowmasters, Cord, and then Grist ticks down, kills one of the Rhinos. Or not even. All right, Cord for 2. They're just getting the mana for next turn. And then they tick this down, kill one of the Rhinos, and then Wall of Roots is big enough that we can't attack into Grist. We still didn't draw land. Yikes. Well, I guess suspend this. Go ahead. So now Yawgmoth comes down, and they have about 10 bajillion draws with their young wolf and all these creatures. Even if I Cascade next turn, I'm still in a terrible position. Insect token, Yawgmoth. How many draws do they have? 1, 2, 3, 4. So they can draw 4 times and kill the Rhino token. And then even if I draw land for Cascade next turn, we're just so dead. I would Cascade, put 10 power into play, but then they still have Yawgmoth with all these cards. Plus Grist. They're attacking with the Bowmasters. So I block. That's fine, because they're going to shoot it down anyway. All right. So they're just not attacking with it then. All right. Suspend on this Rhino. Jesus, we still haven't drawn anything. All right. What am I doing? I'm just passing with Brazen Borrower, and then I'm doing what? Like bouncing Yawgmoth back to their hand? Yeah, pass. End of turn, Bowmasters. I don't know. Okay, so they're targeting this, and then Yawgmoth's going to reduce the wolf, shoot our Rhino. All right, then they go to combat. Swing with all of this, and we're taking 6 down to 6. They're proliferating with Yawgmoth. Put counters on all of these guys. Okay. Well, I guess I'll bounce Yawgmoth back to their hand. I guess they're doing it again. Sure. So 4, 7, 8. All right, Petty Theft, bounce. So then we take 7. No, we take 8 and go to 4. Grist is going to plus make another insect, and then we're just dead. They can just play Yawgmoth next turn anyway. Oh, they just can ult Ren, or ult Grist, and we're dead. All right, game number 2. What do I want? Leyline of the Void, Fury. Let's see, Mystical Dispute's bad. Brazen Borrower is mostly bad. Is Blood Moon good here? They have a lot of Mana Dorks and basic forests, but that doesn't necessarily mean you can't catch them with Blood Moon, and I'm not particularly interested in playing Endurance. Then again, the Endurance Fury combo is pretty good. I think I'm more likely to win the game if I bring in Blood. Oh, Force of Negation's also terrible, right? Yeah, so take these out. So then all of these come in. Yeah, that seems fine. Is Questing Beast better than anything else? Probably not. All right, submit this. On the play for game 2, we have just 2 burn spells in hand, and that's it. Well, Binding Gemstones plus Endurance plus Cascader seems pretty good. So keep this and put back. All right, so let's see. If I put back a land, and then I can't put back a land, right? No, I can put back a land. Put back Endurance, and then I go Gemstones, land. Endurance is probably the least necessary card in the hand. So put that back, then perform Leyline Binding. All right, I'm on the play. I don't have Gemstones. Why did I think that? All right, well, in that case, let's just go Breeding Pool tapped. Pass the turn. Gemstone, you first. Yeah, I don't know why I was thinking that I would get Gemstones in. Fetch. We still have turn 3 Cascade. Elated Halfling. All right, play Stomping Ground. Go ahead. In this situation, it's actually going to be slightly better that I can play Subtlety now. Wall of Roots. Strangleroot Geist. Okay. And then they'll just attack us with the Geist down to 18. All right. Fetch. Actually, I suppose I should grab another red source in case I have Fury later. Yeah, okay. Steam Vents. Shardless. Cascade. Cast the Rhinos. So they have 4 mana, so they can play Yawg, but at least their Undying creatures don't come back. They can also Cord for 3 and put Grist into play. If they don't have Yawgmoth, I think all their options are bad. All right, green, black, black, so they have Yawg. No, they have Sheoldred. Wow, Sheoldred. And now I just can't attack them anymore. So I have to find a way to get Sheoldred off the field, or I can Violent Outburst. All right, well, we're down to 13, so I guess I just play this and hold Subtlety up. Yeah, pass it back. So Sheoldred, they go up to 19. I just can't attack them is the problem. Even Fury doesn't kill her, so I need to what? I need to basically draw Violent Outburst so I can swing with the Rhino tokens and then Violent in combat. Strangleroot Geist. If that's all they're doing, nah, I should cast this now while I have uses of it. Because they're playing this rather than play anything else. All right, target that. All right, we take more. We drew Leyline of the Void, which is completely useless. So let's go land, suspend Footfalls, and then just attack with Subtlety. So we can never win the race as long as Sheoldred's in play, but... Oh, they're courting end of turn? Okay. Cord for 2. Probably what? Bowmasters? No, Hepatra. So if they're cording for Hepatra, that means they have Yawgmoth. Yep, there's Yawgmoth. So with Hepatra, Yawgmoth, and Sheoldred, he can just machine gun our entire field down and we lose the game. All right, you got it. On to round number 4. All right, round 4 on the draw with Rhinos. We have no Cascader and only 2 lands. Seems bad. All right, so mulligan, 2 lands with multiple Cascaders seems good. Opponent also mulls to 6. What am I putting back here? Not the lands, not Footfalls, not either of the Shardless agents. Probably, okay, so I don't have red mana, so Dead Gone. Put Dead Gone back. Opponent's on Tron. We drew Force of Negation, pretty good. So shock this in, suspend the Rhinos, pass it back. Opponent cracks the Star, plays Ancient Stirrings. I don't think I counter Stirrings. Reveals Urza's Tower, plays Urza's Tower, plays Chromatic Star. All right, this comes down a counter. All right, so land, stop and upkeep, ice the tower. Drew Fury, and then proceed to your main. All right, they just have Natron. Ring, we're definitely countering that. Get rid of a Shardless. All right, this Footfalls comes down another counter. Drew Dead Gone. All right, cast Shardless Agent. Cascade into the Rhinos. And we gotta hope this is good enough. Crack the Star. Casts Ancient Stirrings. They found the 1 ring. So then they 1 ring us. We can't attack them this turn. They draw a card. Yep, another tower. Oh, and they have another play this turn. And Karn. So they're going to Karn for Filigree Silex or something to blow our Rhinos up. Chalice of the Void for 0. All right. And Relic of Progenitus. So our Rhinos that are on Suspend will now get countered when they come off Suspend. There's another Rhinos. That's terrible. So, all right, attack Karn. I guess I may as well suspend this, since if the game is still going on in 4 turns, then maybe I can find Brazen Bar or something to bounce this. I'm not going to do anything with it in my hand anyway. All right, so opponent's at 19 and is now drawing a busted amount of cards with the ring and has 10 mana, so we're not winning. Wurmcoil, I guess we can get around Wurmcoil. Karn minuses. If I draw red mana, I can bounce it. Karn is getting Ensnaring Bridge. Well, so it's game over pretty much next turn. All right, Rhinos. Cast, it gets countered by Chalice of the Void. All right, do we draw red mana? No. All right, so we're super, super dead. All right, Tron, Blood Moon, Questing Beast, Force of Vigor, Dispute out, Dead Gone out. Yep, that is, I guess, right. No, Fury. I guess Mystical Dispute is better in this matchup than Fury is, because by the time you can play Fury, you should have won. All right, that's fine. Submit. All right, game 2 on the play. We have a Cascader and a Subtlety, and that's it. Mulligan. All right, at least we have Blood Moon this time. I will keep this, and oh, we also have Boseiju. So keep this, binning what? So if I bin a land, I need to fetch red for Blood Moon. I'll probably need to use okay, so the Blood Moon means Boseiju isn't relevant except for what? So if I bin Boseiju, I can go fetch the basics, then fetch the red mana for Blood Moon. But Boseiju also lets me take them off of it on turn 2 and then Cascade on turn 3 and then play Blood Moon the turn after that. I'm going to put back Subtlety. All right, Foothills, go. Opponent plays Tower, plays Map. So fetch, get Ketria, and then these 2 can get the basics. I guess I don't have a base. Yeah, so these 2 can get the basics, right? Yeah. So Ketria, and then Brazen Borrower for this actually seems pretty nice right now. But then that means next turn they just go Tron land number 2, play the map again. I want to turn 3 Shardless, so I need to just have Boseiju up. And it's awkward because I'm going to be taking off double blue with the Blood Moon. I guess I'm not going to be taken off of it potentially at one point. So let's play Tarn and then just pass. Power Plant. All right, fetch, grabbing an island, and then Boseiju the tower. No, Boseiju, Power Plant. All right, so yeah, Boseiju, go get a forest, back to us. All right, Misty, fetch, basic forest, cast Shardless, opponent cracks map, cast the Rhinos, and then we will Blood Moon next turn. They just have Oblivion Stone. All right, well, we've got a bit of time to try to kill that. There's another Rhinos, so yeah, just play Blood Moon, then go to combat, swing out, and then I have Force of Vigor for O-Stone and one other thing as long as it's not the ring. Ancient Stirrings. So they do need to find an answer to these right now, which with only 3 mana available is not going to be much. Haywire Might, sure. Power Plant. So they have Tron, they have Might, but they can't use... Okay, so they can use the Might now, but it will take all their mana to do it, but it will leave them at 2 life. Yeah, I have no point that I can respond to this, so that's fine. So then Haywire Might kills the Blood Moon. So if I go Force right now, then they go pop Chromatic Sphere, green, eat my Blood Moon. They're at 12. And then they're dead if I draw Fire Ice. All right, I'm not using this Footfalls anyway, so let's go cast here, exile this. Yeah, so then hit the Blood Moon, but it unlocks our mana at least, and it gets O-Stone off the field. All right, reduce Subtlety, so let's go combat, swing. They go to 2, and then I think the only thing that saves them is the Ring or Karn for Bridge, but they have too many cards in their hand for Bridge. Although I can Subtlety Karn. Ancient Stirrings gets Wormcoil Engine. That's not a problem. Gemstone Caverns. They play Wormcoil. Yep. All right. Petty Theft. Bounce this. All right. On to game 3. So I believe we just keep this as is. So game 3 on the draw against Tron playing Rhinos. We have 2 lands, shardless, double Force of Negation. So if I draw any third land, this hand's good. All right. Keep. I will force a map 100%. Right, I will not force a Chromatic Sphere. All right. Play Ketria. Pass back. Plays another star. That is also fine. Plays Power Plant. That's not fine, but what are you going to do? Draws another card with the star. Plays Haywire Might. That is fine. All right, so land, and then we'll stop and upkeep with Fire Ice. So fetch. And then I don't have Blood Moon yet, so what do I want? Not the basic island, because then if I draw Violent Outburst later and I happen to draw the other basic island, then I can't cast it. So, but definitely a second blue source. All right, Breeding Pool, because I have other double green cards in my deck. Shock this in, pass, stop on upkeep. Ice, one of the lands. We drew our third land. Plays a forest, does not have Tron yet. They attack us with Haywire Might down to 16. All right, our turn. Play Gemstone Caverns, cast Shardless, cast Footfalls. Do they actually have Warping Whale here? All right. Well, we got 2 more Shardlesses to go off with. Gemstone Caverns of their own. All right, Karn, force that. Exile Brazen Borrower. There's Blood Moon. I will not cast that yet, though. So swing with Shardless. I guess it's not even useful with Haywire Might plus Forest on the field. Yeah, so let's just go another Shardless Agent, cast Rhinos, and then back to you with more Force Negations. 4 mana, Ring, nope. Let's get rid of, at this point I have 1, 2, 4, 10, so they go block here, they're at 20, they're at 10. I do not need another Shardless at this point, whereas I may need the Brazen Borrowers. All right, opponent plays Boseiju. We drew an island. All right, so play island, go to combat, swing with everything. They're not blocking, so it's pointless to play Blood Moon right now. They're at 6, so let's just pass it back, holding up Brazen Borrower. Another forest. They still don't have Tron. 6, Wormcoil Engine. That's not going to get them there. All right, Petty Theft, Wormcoil back to your hand. And we won the match versus Tron. On to round number 5. All right, we have no Cascaders, no nothing really, so let's just mull this. We're also on the draw. Mulligan. All right, this is fine. Keep this, bin one of the fetch lands. Our opponent is mulling to 5. Tapped Zeatora's Proving Ground, so Jund or Creativity. All right, land, pass. Oh no, do not pass. Oh, I should have suspended this. I don't know why, I just blanked out there completely. Crystal Grotto. Enters Scry 1, filters for colors. All right, well, fetch end step, get Ketria Triumph. What is playing this? All right, play another fetch land. Let's suspend this now when I should have done that on turn 1, but better late than never. Cycle Sheltered Thicket, so it's Scape Shift with this land in it. That isn't a mountain. Desert. Oh, it's Calibrated Blast, I guess. It's Calibrated Blast, but with Crystal Grotto. All right, fetch. Let's put Breeding Pool into play tapped. All right, shock. Play Shardless Agent. Cast Footfalls. They didn't have Calibrated Blast, so I guess they just don't have it. Or they have Throes of Chaos. Yeah, they have Throes of Chaos. So there's Throes of Chaos. 13 cards entered the revealed. They hit Calibrated Blast. And then we're not dead. What'd they reveal? They revealed another Calibrated Blast. So now they're just shooting Shardless. All right, we may be able to get there then. Otawara is totally irrelevant in this matchup, so I can just play this, and then let's just go Violent, attack them for a bunch. Yeah, Violent, get Footfalls, and then Combat, attack for 10. So the only way we can lose from here is if they have both, if they retrace throws and have Sun Desert and hit a 15 drop. All right, yeah, so we got it. All right, Calibrated Blast. Blood Moon is not good. Endurance is not good. Force is not good. In fact, nothing is good, right? Not a thing. Questing Beast is better than Fury. Dead Gone, they have no creatures, so we just take all of these out. Leyline's good against retracing the throws. What else? Retracing the throws and the flashback on Blast, so we put Leyline in here. So most of the stuff in their sideboard is just lands. So Force of Vigor is irrelevant. Blood Moon is irrelevant. Kinda. Well, Blood Moon's not completely irrelevant. They do have stuff like Beseiju, who shelters all, to make their stuff uncounterable, so this shuts that off. Subtlety actually does nothing here, right? They have no creatures to play. They have Scion of Draco and Shadow of Mortality. Endurance takes the stuff out of their graveyard as well. Oh, Brazen Borrower has nothing to bounce either. I guess they do have some creatures that they can play, though. But we can just beat those creatures. All right, let's run this. All right, game 2 on the draw against Calibrated Blast, playing Rhinos. This looks fine. I guess they're faster than we are. So this is a turn 3 Cascade and a turn 5 kill, but we're going to die before that ever happens, presumably. So let's mulligan. Well, Force and Negation is much better, so I will keep this, and then I will bin probably, honestly, Questing Beast keeps me having 3 lands with multiple things to counter them with. All right, let's bin Questing Beast, and then they will just play their turn. Plays Crystal Grotto to scry. All right, I will just play a fetch land and then pass. Well, now we can't even counter their stuff, so this hand's way worse. Fetch. This one, well, just can't counter their stuff, so play this tap to go ahead. There's the red mana. Calibrated Blast is an instant for some reason, so play this, and then just pass it back. Yep, uncounterable blast. No, they're just cycling a Triumph. Okay. Whew. So now they're going to throws. No, they're not throwsing. They just don't have it? All right, fetch. Island. Cast Outburst, cast the Rhinos. Well, there's another force, not that that's helping anything. So land, combat, swing with the Rhinos. They go to 10, and then we pass, and they still don't have anything, eh? How do they keep a hand that doesn't have throws or blast in it? All right, we got there. 4-1 with Rhinos. So, I mean, it's Rhinos. There's not much more to say about it. One of the best decks in the format. If you want the... It's probably actually... I'm debating whether this one's easier to play or Tron's easier to play. Probably Tron still is. Well, if you want an easy deck to play in the format that isn't Tron, Rhinos is your best bet. So, if you tuned in today, I hope you enjoyed yourself. That brings us to the end of today's leagues. We've been streaming for 8.5 hours, and this is the 4th league of the day. So join us again next time for the remaining decks on the wheel.